Morning, ladies. Say, I'm just getting my candles lit and my coffee going. It's early here in Seattle. I'm still in my jammies, but I wanted to welcome those of you back to Under the Junk here, where we're gonna dig into ourselves and down our own rabbit hole, and we're gonna explore all things magical, and we're gonna share it along the way. And I've been wanting to do this myself, but I just don't have the time, so I decided to join Sisters Enchanted. They had a free class, the Expedition to Soul, and day one was yesterday. And everyone's been so interested that I figured I would come in and share. Share, since there were so many questions about it. So if you didn't sign up, we can follow along anyways, But it's not too late. I think you could still sign up if you wanted to, but not quite sure. And then there's a Facebook page for it too, if you want to do that. But anyway, okay, so day one of the quest is all about reclaiming your energy. And so the suggestions are to sit in a space of your choosing and call your energy in from all the objects in that space and or people who also utilize the space. Okay, so throughout the day, we give our energy out to things all the time, to people, places, things, emotions, and I don't know, sometimes we don't really take inventory on what we're actually expending all of our energy on. And so this not only is a good exercise for yourself to register, where you're sending it out all the time. And if you're feeling drained and heavy and just like everyone's taking, it's because you're not bringing things back into your center. Now, I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends, and this is why it's fun. We can share each other's experiences, but I mean, I knew we could draw like energy from the ground and the trees and things like that, but it didn't really like have a long term effect. This is short term, and you have to do it a couple of times maybe throughout the day. But yesterday when I did mine, so the first thing you have to do is you have to empty yourself first of everything. You have to stop everything, your mind, everything, and just get into that space where you're slowed everything way down, just like they do in the movies. Okay, otherwise you're not going to be able to concentrate enough to do it. First you have to stop and listen. That's the first thing. Okay, and the second thing is, now there's different suggestions that you can do or whatever, but she suggested spider webs, and that's literally actually, I mean, how it is. They're little strings that go out, and I don't know, when I was doing mine, I don't know if this is silly or what, but I'm just like that. Mine were sparkling so that I could see there was an energy transition. So I ended up, getting into that meditative state. I went to my recliner actually and laid back, got into that meditative state, and then I started, just like it suggested, sitting in my space of my choosing, calling my energy in from all the objects. So I always end up reaching for out to nature. So I did do my home, and like I even did my car, which was a weird energy transmission. It's very strange. Everything feels differently if you just stop long enough to use your abilities that are naturally in you. Everyone has the ability to do these things, but we don't stop long enough because of life's distractions to do any self-care. And this is self-care because it gets you in tune to yourself and to listening and to connect you to the world around you. And so so anyways, I started to do the river because I the river is right out there and I use the river a lot. It's such a great energy source, but I use the strings. I work with the river a lot in a lot of different ways, but the strings really from the river to myself really just energize me all day long until like 4 o'clock. And I was so surprised. And then I did, my dog, because it said people or anything that's in the space, you can get energy from your table. I mean, everything has something it gives off, right? Even if it's just the color, that you're letting in or whatever. So I did mine for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I don't know. It could have been longer. I don't usually like time anything. I just do, just do it. And then, so anyway, that was really great. And I've decided now, since I was so energized, that I'm going to be doing this every single day. And it's made my consciousness at least aware of where I'm spending everything. And now I can register in my mind when I'm doing that and call it all back. So the next suggestion was focusing on a situation, an emotional experience, or no, it just says focus on a situation or emotional experience and call the energy back into the self and away from that experience. So what happens is when, say, something traumatic happens and you're over there giving it all that energy, and then you're depleting yourself because you have this issue over here. So take the situation or the emotion that you were giving it and bring it back to yourself. Okay, so what I think is really interesting and what I would like to know from you guys down in the comments when you're doing this is where, I don't even want to say it because I really want to know. It's tough to ask a question because then it leads you, It would be fun to, how could I do it without, well, anyway. I would like to know in the comments where you end up bringing your strings into. Is it in the top half of your body somewhere? Or you bring it into your umbilical part or lower part? Where are you bringing it in? And then notice if there's any resistance. Like when I'm bringing in my strings, everything seems to be like in the top half of my body. I don't have any problems working with the top half, but when I go lower into my umbilical area, which is where, the chakra points are right in the center and our umbilical and everything is there, our womb and all these places, and I was having a hard time, opening that space up. So anyway, I had to spend some time doing that. So there's more work to be done here. I've only just now grasped, there's so much more depth to this that we can explore ourselves. And, if you want to share, you can share. But, a lot of this stuff is personal too, and the experience is your own. So I even considered not doing any of the sharing either, but I don't know. I think it might spur something in somebody that maybe doesn't know what this is all about, and magic isn't what people, it's not the devil worshiping and all these things that people think it is. It's so funny what, they listen to the storybooks and, it really is just taking responsibility for yourself, how you feel, and what you're doing with yourself every day. It isn't about anyone else. So any magic that we do on ourselves. We don't do it on other people. So that's where it gets all confused. So anyway, okay, so when I focused on my situation or emotional experience that I called my energy back from, and some of this could be years ago. You know how we're constantly in the suffering. We have something happen 10 years ago and we still bring it into the present and suffer with it. And I've given certain experiences so much of my energy that, it's just drained me. And so yesterday when I was calling it back in, it was surprising the effect that it had. It gave me sort of a closure to a lot of the situations. And then what was really strange is, this is funny because these things kind of happen because it is a literal metaphysical change that you're doing within yourself, and other people that you're connected to can feel the difference. And my daughter, she's so intuitive and she doesn't even realize. But I was doing the work and I was calling all my energy back in from my horrible divorce, that I had with her dad. I was calling all my energy back in from that entire situation. You know what she did after all these years? Her dad and I haven't been together for, I don't even know how long. 15 years or something like that. I've been married to my husband now for 10, almost 10, so, it's been over. Anyway, she sent me a video of her dad playing guitar on stage, because that's what he does. And she says, I thought that you would like to see Dad playing. And it was just so neat that she could feel my letting go of that situation, to where I don't hate and don't, carry any of that stuff anymore. I love their dad, but when you're young and you first get divorced and you're going through all that emotion and trauma, you build it up and build it up, build it up, build it up, where now I've let it all go. I can, just let things lie and see where I made my mistakes or whatever the situation is, and I can just take my energy back from it, accept the things I cannot change now, and, cut to the cord and move on, And so that really helped everything. And I just think it's so funny that that happens. So watch for those little nuances that happen that you might miss if you're, moving too fast. And then visualize your energy detaching from all those experiences, those things, and people, so that you can momentarily hear only what you're saying, what your inner self is telling you. Or I always go on a more cosmic level, because it really isn't about us. It's about listening to our inner being, and our inner being is connected cosmically. So when I empty myself of everything, I go right to, space is where I go. I don't really go to there isn't anything else. The universe is mostly nothing. All that space eating each other up, and, it's a violent place. And so, anyway, so, so she gives you some worksheets, just some different things, and just some different things to do. She's got a field guide and maps to do, and anyway, it was really fun. And so once you go through any of these experiences, please share in the comments what happened to you, and take some time out every day for yourself. Even if it's only 15 minutes. We always say that we don't have enough time, but we need to make the time. We have enough time. We just are too busy as women caring for everyone else, when we should be first on the list, so that we have extra leftovers. We don't give on empty, because then we end up, sick and resentful, and we have all these health problems, and, all these things happen, and we harden rather than soften up to the people in the world around us, and, that can do damage too. So anyway, I would love to hear your experiences. So share with me what happens when you called your energy back, and maybe this can be something you can implement into your everyday life. It would be great, right? So thanks for watching and stay tuned. Our next video, I'm going to be doing remnant jars and banishing jars and banishing candles, so I can talk to you guys a little bit about that stuff, okay? All right, until next time, bye.